Are you ready to unravel the perplexing tale of the Coons family murders that sent shockwaves through the tight-knit community of Bern in Marathon County, Wisconsin? On the evening of July 4th, 1987, this seemingly ordinary family was forever shattered when each member, except for Kenneth, was discovered dead from gunshot wounds to the head. The entire town was left bewildered, and the question on everyone's lips was, who could have done this? Join us as we explore the intricate details of this mysterious case. Coons family, led by matriarch Helen Coons, and consisting of her two sons, Randy and Kenneth, and her siblings Irene, Clarence, and Marie, embodied a unique and remarkable close-knit bond. Their unconventional lifestyle and living situation set them apart from the rest of their community. Helen Coons, at 70 years old, was the family's anchor. Her two sons, Randy and Kenneth, aged 30, were deeply connected to their mother, often assisting with household chores and accompanying her to town for errands. Despite their shabby house and limited amenities, the Coons family had managed to accumulate a significant amount of wealth. This financial contrast with their living conditions was a source of intrigue and curiosity among their neighbors. What truly set the Coons family apart, however, was their eccentric reputation. They adhered to a unique way of life that seemed to defy societal norms. For instance, they consistently paid their bills with cash, an unusual practice in modern times. Their privacy preference was evident in their isolated living situation, situated 6 miles from Bern Town Center, allowing them to live on the fringes of social interaction. Adding to their mystique, the family members often wore hand-me-down clothes passed down from one family member to another. This practice reflected the frugality and their close bond, symbolizing their commitment to supporting one another. In the eyes of their community, the Coons family remained a peculiar and enigmatic presence. While some residents were friendly towards them, most considered them eccentric and strange. The Coons' aloofness and disregard for societal conventions rendered them somewhat distant from their community, making them like outsiders in their town. This unique family dynamic would play a significant role in the events that unfolded on the fateful evening in July of 1987. On the fateful morning of July 5th, 1987, Kenneth Coons awoke in his trailer, nursing a pounding headache, the aftermath at a night spent drinking with friends. Unbeknownst to him, this ordinary morning would soon descend into a nightmarish ordeal. Driven by the unusual routine, Kenneth went to the main house, perhaps hoping for a comfortable family presence to alleviate his hangover. However, as he called out for his family, his voice echoed through the house, met only with chill and silence. What awaited Kenneth in that house was a scene from his worst nightmares. His brother Randy lay motionless on the floor, the room tainted with blood, a gunshot wound to Randy's head serving as an ominous testament to the horrors that unfolded. Overwhelmed by the sheer shock of this gruesome discovery, Kenneth's heart pounded as he pressed on, compelled by a grim curiosity and an insatiable need to find his missing family members. As he continued his search, the relentless horror, it only deepened, for he stumbled upon the lifeless bodies of his aunt and uncle, Irene and Clarence, both victims of the same sinister fate that had befallen Randy. The gravity of the situation was undeniable. Kenneth trembled as he discovered yet another life taken brutally. His Aunt Marie lay lifeless, bearing a gunshot wound like the others. At the moment, Kenneth realized that he was the sole survivor of a grotesque and seemingly senseless massacre that shattered families and communities alike, leaving an undeniable scar on the fabric of their lives. The Coons family murders sent shockwaves to the tight-knit community of Bern in Marathon County, Wisconsin. After Kenneth Coons made the horrifying discovery of his family members' lifeless bodies, he was overwhelmed with fear and disbelief. He immediately sought help from a neighbor, who provided him access to their phone. Kenneth was frantic as he explained the gruesome situation to the authorities. Within minutes, squad cars arrived at the Coons residence and investigators swiftly began their official investigation. The sight that met their eyes was gruesome and tragic. With multiple family members dead from gunshot wounds, the crime scene was chaotic, and the investigators faced the daunting task of unraveling the mystery behind the murders. Given his proximity to the crime scene and discovery of the bodies, it was only natural that Kenneth Coon became the primary person of interest for the Marathon County Sheriff's Office. His unharmed state raised questions about his involvement or potential victimization in the crime. Investigators had to tread carefully as they conducted interviews and gathered evidence to piece together the events of that fateful evening and determine who could have been responsible for this heinous act. The community was left in shock and mourning, desperate for answers to the mystery that shattered their peace. The Coons family cluttered and disorganized home became a focal point for investigators as they delve into the baffling clues surrounding the murders. Despite their squalid living conditions, the most puzzling discovery was the presence of over $20,000 stashed throughout the house. This finding immediately ruled out robbery as a motive for the murders. The question then arose, why would someone kill the Coons family if it wasn't for financial gain? The rumors circulating within the community added another layer of complexity to the case. Speculations and whispers hinted at the possibility of incestuous relationships within the Coons family. One particular rumor questioned Helen Coons' true relationship with her brother Clarence, raising doubts about Kenneth's parentage. The mysterious family dynamic only deepened the intrigue surrounding the case. The combination of the cluttered living conditions, the significant cash stash, and the whispers of incestuous relationships created an atmosphere of uncertainty and confusion that left investigators struggling to find together the puzzle. These baffling clues added to the complexity of an already enigmatic and perplexing case, making it the more challenging to uncover the truth behind the Coons family murders. Helen Coons' disappearance marked a significant and puzzling turn in investigating the Coons family murders. When her son Kenneth discovered the lifeless bodies of his family members and called for help, Helen was conspicuously absent from the crime scene. This absence fueled intense speculation within the community and among investigators. On the line of speculation was that Helen might have been involved in the murders given the peculiar family dynamics and rumors of incestuous relationships. Alternatively, she might have had another victim, abducted or coerced into leaving the house before the tragic events unfolded. This uncertainty surrounding her whereabouts deepened the case's mystery, leaving authorities with more questions than answers. 9 agonizing months later, Helen's body was discovered in a marsh, bearing a headshot wound. This grim discovery further confounded investigators, adding another layer of complexity to an already convoluted case. The circumstances of her death, the delay in finding her remains, and the ongoing questions about her role in the events leading to her family's murder made the Coons family murders one of the most enigmatic and perplexing cases in the annals of criminal history. Furthermore, the family's history of tragedy, with Helen's grandmother having been murdered by her son Benzel Coons in a separate incident in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, added an eerie and unsettling dimension to the overall narrative. Benzel's conviction as guilty but insane only deepened the dark cloud that seemed to hang over the Coons' family, making their story all the more haunting and tragic. The emergence of Christopher Jacobs III as a person of interest marked a significant turning point in the Coons' family murder case. Christopher's connection to the family stemmed from interacting with them and purchasing a car shortly before the tragic murders occurred. However, it was the discovery of tire tracks near the Coons' residence that casted a shadow of suspicion over them. These tire tracks were found to match those at the crime scene, providing investigators with a crucial lead. Following his initial arrest, Christopher was released, which led to months of frustration and limited progress in the case. This hiatus allowed doubts and uncertainty to fester within the community. However, in 1989, he was again arrested, charged with 5 accounts of murder in connection to the Coons' family killings. The shock came when, despite seemingly compelling evidence, including the tire points and testimonies, the jury acquitted Christopher Jacobs III. This unexpected verdict left the community in disbelief, as they had hoped for closure and justice for the Coons' family. This turn of events deepened the mystery surrounding the case and left many wondering if the true perpetrator had evaded justice for this story, or if the story had even more hidden layers. In 1993, the Coons' family murder case took a dramatic turn when Stacy Wise, Christopher Jacobs' ex-girlfriend, came forward with a startling revelation. Wise claimed that in 1991, Jacobs had confessed to her that he was responsible for the Coons family murders. According to her account, Jacobs disclosed that his motive behind the gruesome killings was linked to dispute with Randy Coons over a car purchase. This revelation provided a potential motive for the murders, shedding new light on the case. However, Christopher Jacobs' defense team countered with Wise's allegation by suggesting that she had ulterior motives and was seeking revenge against Jacobs. It possibly was due to their previous relationship issues. Despite these arguments, Wise's testimony was presented during the trial, and the jury found Jacobs guilty of kidnapping Helen Coons. As a result, he was sentenced to 31 years in prison. This development added another layer of complexity to a case already fraught with mystery and intrigue. In 2020, Christopher Jacobs III, scheduled for parole, found himself unexpectedly confined to the Marathon County Jail due to a rule violation. Despite maintaining his innocence to the media, Christopher chose to serve the remainder of his sentence in Bern, fearing potential retaliation from law enforcement. The prevailing theory suggests that someone within the Coons' family might have been the perpetrator. However, with almost all family members now deceased, the truth is unlikely ever to be fully uncovered. The case remains a mystery, leaving people to ponder whether Christopher Jacobs III is guilty or the true culprit still exists. Coons' family murder stands as a haunting enigma, with more questions than answers. The intricacies of family dynamics, the rumors of incest, and the shocking acquittal of Christopher Jacobs III all contribute to the mystique surrounding the case. Whether justice had been served or the true perpetrator remains at large, the Coons family murders continue to perplex and disturb those who seek to unravel their secrets. Thanks again for watching today's video.